Today we're talking about reading as a shared experience, and particularly as it relates to this digital age. We know that reading can provoke a very strong response in people, and it can lead people to want to share this response with other people. There's this fantastic quote from Mark Twain, who famously hated Jane Austen. Everything that she did, he just reviled. He wrote to someone that every time I read Pride and Prejudice, I want to dig her up and beat her over the skull with her own shin bone. Go down the line, and each of you talk about a literary moment that really resonated with you and why it resonated so much.
Elie Wiesel's books. Elie Wiesel's book, especially The Town Beyond the Wall, where he gives man the license to question God. That he gives man the license to wrestle with God. That made a very powerful impression on me.
All right, we'll move on to Melissa.
Well, as a child, I have to say that Judy Blume was, for me, everything. Her words inspired me. They made me feel that, the feelings that I was having and experiencing were normal and made me feel like I belonged and I didn't feel so weird. And she was talking about me, and it just completely resonated with me. So that was probably a really powerful adult reading moment for me.
I have to give you some credence, because you're right. It's the books you read really early that stick with you. So now I'm remembering when I was young and my dad wanted me to understand logic, and he made me read Flatland, which is the story of like a two-dimensional world, and you know what I mean. It just kind of reels back and explains 2D to young people essentially, and so that stuck with me so vividly in a way that Judy Blume would have were I a young lady, perhaps.
One book that resonated with me that's also relevant to this conversation is 1984. But one thing I liked about it, they talked about the Ministry of Truth, which is where they basically rewrite history and destroy documents by putting down these memory holes. And if you think about it, it's actually sort of the exact opposite of what Scribd does, which is all about liberating documents and distributing them. So that just stuck in my mind, and I think about in writing Scribd today. So it's great that I read that book when I was a kid.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.